Greetings and thank you for taking a minute to click on the link and watch this video. It's Coach Hudson here. And as I said in this particular email, I wanted to talk about control today, and not like how to be control freak. I spent most of my life as one of those, and I'm constantly looking to reform because it's just too stressful. And yet, I asked in this email, would you like more control of your time, of your income, of your mindset, of your stress level? All right, so let's go through all four, and I'm not going to give you a master class because you won't watch that long, and yet I am going to give you some tips, right? So first thing would be control of your time. So first of all, I believe, in my experience, we look at time probably not in the best way. We're constantly saying we wish we had more time, or there's not enough time in the day, and we're never going to change that. And so we've got to take what we've got and run with it. So there's a lot of things I can tell you, and we're going to discuss in bold how to properly time block, and yet time blocking will save you, FYI. Like when you know what you should be doing at any moment, it really frees up a lot of stress about your time. And yet, here's where I know I always kind of struggled in the business, right? Like when it was, I wanted to take the day off or the evening off, or I wanted to go get a massage, or I had a doctor's appointment, or I wanted to go to my kid's soccer game, or like date night, like whatever it is, right? Like these things that we do, and then you get the call from the client, and all of a sudden you drop everything to go handle them, or you're working on a listing lead, and they're like, "Hey, can you meet tomorrow at 5?" And you're like, "Okay, well, sorry, little buddy, I'm not going to be there for your game." Like, so here's my biggest hack when it comes to controlling your time. Well, there's two. First of all, no is a complete sentence. Like, please just like people pleasing gets you nowhere. And take it from somebody who is, in most part, at my core, I am a people pleaser. I love people. I like to help people. Therefore, I want to please them. And yet, I've just learned that I'm no good if I'm not pleasing myself first, if I'm not taking care of myself. So no is a complete sentence. And the other thing I want to share with you, we've got to learn that not everybody needs to know our business and that everything we do is an appointment. So when that client calls you and says, "Hey, can I see this house tomorrow at 9:30 in the morning?" And you know that that's your lead gen time, and you know that you don't have a business without leads. Like this is priority number one. You don't say, "Hey, I'm doing lead generation at that time." They're going to be like, "Oh, well, I'm a lead and I'm here now, so help me or I'm gone." You simply say, "You know what? I've got an appointment at that time. Could we do 12 or could we do 3 or could we do this?" Like whatever it is, you're going to give them one or two options that would work for you. And 9 out of 10 times it's going to work. Here's what I find. Most agents say, "Okay, I'll do it," without ever asking, "Oh, would this work or would that work? Can we do something else?" So, and it's because we're like, "Well, I don't want to say out loud that I've got this going on," because heaven forbid you have a life, by the way. Like you're allowed to do that. And it alleviates all the stress. I've got an appointment at that time. What else would work? I'm stepping into an appointment. Can I call you back later? You don't need to say I'm stepping in to get a massage. And they might respect it or they might judge it. It doesn't matter. You don't need to take the risk. I've got an appointment. I'll call you back after. So that, and then just really, we've got to. I don't know why real estate became a 24/7 business. There's really no need. It's not health related. It's not emergency related. There's no good decisions that are made after 7 p.m. Like, let's just be honest. And so you're also allowed to say, I mean, if you call me and you get my voicemail, it says that if it's after 6, I'm going to call you on the next business day. And nobody ever gets mad at me about it. Nobody has ever gotten mad at me about it. I've never lost a client over that. And so this is how, like, for me, this is how I have two full-time jobs and actually get to be present for my family and myself because I just don't work nights and weekends. You're allowed to do that as well. So there's a little bit of a ways that you can control your time, pardon me, and to control your income, here's what I've found. People that don't hit goals, especially big financial goals, and that's whatever big is to you, it's because we haven't tied every dollar to a destination. So I think it's really important that when you're looking at the amount of money that you're looking to earn in any given year, month, week, whatever it is, like that every one of those dollars has a home that you've designated for it. That doesn't mean they need to all be spent. Some of them could be saved, invested, tithed, going away to taxes. Like that part doesn't matter. The idea is that there is a destination for every dollar. Because if you've never made more than $100,000 before, and you're like, this year I'm going to make 300 grand or 500 grand, it's not that you can't. You absolutely can. And yet, if your expenses are 100 grand a year and you don't know the other things that you're going to utilize the tool that money is for, then you're not going to do it. You're just going to keep making $100,000. So it's coming up with, what am I spending on? I want a new car this year. Great. What kind of car do you want, and how much is it going to cost? So you can designate that amount of money. I'm looking to buy an investment property this year. Okay, well, how much do you need for that? What's the down payment going to look like? What are the closing costs going to look like, to make sure that that you adjust for that. Uh, you want to give to a certain charity, you want to go on this vacation, whatever it is, you're looking to add leverage and hire an assistant. You want their salary in the bank. Like, as you start to give the money purpose, you'll go out and find the money, because that's how our brain works. If there's a need, your brain wants to go take care of it. If it's a want, then it's kind of like, well, maybe if we get to it. So there's your income. Controlling your mindset, and actually, these two I'm gonna put together: your mindset and your stress level. First of all, nobody has more control over well, actually, nobody has any control over your mindset other than you. The world can be down on you, and people can call you names, and clients can fire you, and you still choose your mindset. So I know a big thing that worked for me, that I mentioned in one of the other videos, is just to simply use affirmations and use them, rinse and repeat as needed. And I have found with my own mindset that I have to shut out the outside forces that don't support me. So in other words, like, you can call me uninformed, and I'm okay with that. I don't watch the news unless I live in Florida. So unless there's a hurricane coming and I need to be watching the news, maybe during elections I watch the news, not the entire time, like the night of, like, unless it's something major, I'm not watching the news, because all they're going to tell me is the person who got murdered and the people who died in the horrible thing. And this person, like, I don't need that information in my life. And if it's something super important I should be informed of, I'm well connected enough in the world that somebody's going to say, did you hear about so and so? So I don't watch the news, and I use social media a lot for my business and to keep in touch with friends and family, and for my own enjoyment. And I don't keep people around that are negative all the time. If you complain all the time on Facebook per se, depending on our relationship, if you're an acquaintance, I'm just gonna unfriend you. It's not like a high school mean person move. I don't even know you, so I'm not gonna be affected by your complaining. If you talk about politics, excuse me, if you talk about politics all the time, even if you agree with it, it's like, I just don't, like, why? Like, I don't need to see that in my social media all the time. And so I either unfollow people or unfriend people if they're complaining. Like, I just because why? Why would we do that to ourselves? So there's some easy ways that you can help build up a Teflon mindset. And then the last thing, are kind of, they really do go hand in hand, because your mindset can contribute or not contribute to your stress level. Here's how you eliminate stress. You discontinue the habit of focusing on things you have no control over. Agents get stressed out about the market. Why would you be stressed out about the market? Whether it's good, bad, or ugly, like, you have no control over it. Be aware of what the market is, and use that knowledge to your advantage. That's all you really need to do. Like, that's it. And when it comes to, oh gosh, that agent was such a jerk to me. Okay, well, you can't control that. So move on. There's very few things you can control within your business. Really, all you control is yourself. How many people you talk to, how many appointments you get, how you treat people. That's really all you can control. And I find, when I start asking questions, because coaches like to ask a lot of questions, and when I dig deep on people who are having a lot of stress in their life, it normally comes down to the fact that they are trying to control people, places, or things. And the emphasis is on trying, which we teach you in Bold, there is no try. That's my point. Like, you can't control those things. You can only control you. You get to create the little bubble of world that you live in. And when you do that and focus on that, and what you can control in your life, in your business, in your relationships, in your health, in your wealth, everything just gets easier. And all that other stuff that used to stress you out, you're like, well, because you have no control over it. You had none in the first place. And if you're like me and you're like a performing control freak, and you're like, oh God, I don't have control. Well, no, like, take it as great. All you get to do to have an amazing life is master two things, because those two things you have control of: your mindset and the actions that you take. And if your mindset's great, you'll take the right actions. And just spoiler alert, when you choose to join us for Bold, that's what this looks like. Now, we cover a million different topics and we go in a lot of different directions, and yet it all boils down to a focus on those two things that we have control over: this and this, your mindset and your action. So I trust that this helped you today. I appreciate you. If you have any questions, reach out. And otherwise, go click the link and sign up for this class that you know will change your life and help you get to the level that you're looking to get to next. I appreciate you.